Listen, people are choosing Colorado Springs over Denver all the time.
All the time.
Here's why.
100% of the time.
It's because of
God.
Kyle. No.
Well, okay. When we say 100% of the time, we mean to live, to put down them roots, Doug.
We mean 60% of the time.
It happens all the time. Here's the thing. We are currently, first off, you notice that we are not on the magical couches that we are usually on. Right now, we are in Jack's Fish House and Oyster Bar, also known as Jack's Fish Club and Oyster Hangout Place, and Fish Fight Club, and
Don't
you
talk
get the
about it.
be about it. So, super grateful to be here. There's also a Jack's up in Denver, so if you really want to compare and you just want to know which one is better, it's for sure the one down in Colorado Springs. But why would people move to Colorado Springs over Denver? Let us tell you.
Number one. What is it, Kyle?
Cost of living.
Yes.
I'm very sensitive to cost of living. I just always have been. Maybe it's trauma from being a child. I don't know.
Maybe it's trauma from being at Cannon Air Force Base for so long, where everything
Likely.
is super, super cheap, and then you have to move to Colorado, which is awesome,
Yo.
but it ain't cheap.
It ain't cheap. But here's the thing. Colorado Springs, when you just compare it to Denver, is cheaper.
Yeah.
Statistically speaking,
Yeah.
your dollar goes farther here.
About 5% cheaper overall. All things incorporated, transportation, food, all that sort of stuff, housing, about
Yeah.
5% cheaper.
Yeah, the housing market I find very interesting when you just compare the two. I mean, it's probably pretty obvious, but in Colorado Springs, with the distance that you can get to the mountain, so it's, you said 15 to 20%, right?
Yeah.
More expensive up there. But here's the thing, is that to get that close as you are to the mountains as you are in Colorado Springs, in Denver, you're probably actually paying more like 30 to 40% more. So we're talking like Golden, Boulder, Westminster,
Yeah.
those types of areas. Because a lot of people don't know that in Denver, you really don't have the same views.
You don't.
But that's different. We'll talk about that a little
Yes.
bit later. Hit him with number 2, bro.
So we've talked about cost of living, but what's your lifestyle like? The lifestyles couldn't be more different between here and Denver. Kyle, want to weigh in?
I bet you guys didn't see me there. All right, giggity.
I like B cities. What's
Yeah.
a B city, you might ask? That's a great question. Hey guys, let me tell you. A B city is Colorado Springs to Denver. Denver is the A city. Colorado Springs is the B city. But I like having that quick access
Yeah.
to all the things in the A city, right? Like
Yeah.
it's got the concerts, it's got the Nuggets, the Broncos,
Yep.
the sports ball team.
All the food, all
Yeah.
the nightlife, like major attractions, the aquarium, Six Flags, all that stuff. It's got all of that.
Yeah.
right?
But I just like being close enough to access it. I
Right.
don't need to be in it all the time.
No.
And to be honest, what happens is like, I just kind of get overwhelmed by big cities anyway.
Yeah.
To me, they're kind of just like, it's just like a little bit too much.
Yeah.
This is like kind of our downtown area, right?
Yeah.
You can see like, even in the middle of the afternoon, 3 o'clock, it's not that busy. That sounds like someone's getting shot in the background, but trust me,
It's a
au
car.
contraire.
It's a car.
It's a car.
Yeah.
It's not that bad down here. Although, it's funny because I was talking to some friends in Denver the other day, and I was like, look, I think Colorado Springs is better than Denver. And they were like, ooh, what? So I think they just haven't been here in a long time.
Yep.
Rapid scene change because I almost got hit by a bus. But here we are. So, like I was saying, it's not that busy here, and like to me, it's just a better vibe. I like that feel
Yeah.
a lot more.
Well, bottom line, like you have everything that you could ever want here, in my opinion. Like our food scene is growing like crazy.
Yeah.
Our entertainment scene is growing like crazy.
Yeah.
Like just over to the west over here, we got Widener Field with the switchbacks. Brings in a bunch of it brings in a bunch of concerts. Just up north, we've got the Sunset Amphitheater going in. Supposed to be like a Red Rocks Junior sort of situation there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just right here, just north on, Tejon, Tejon, as some people call it,
Yeah.
Siri, namely. You've got all of our nightlife stuff. So I don't know. To me, like, even though it's a B city, you got everything you want, and you've got super quick access to Denver too. So talk more about that later. Number 3.
Number 3,
Let's talk about the job market.
jobs. Most people think that like, there's no jobs here, but that's empirically false because I have a job. So
There's
next
actually-
topic. Oh,
Actually, more jobs here than there are people.
and there's more people than there are
Goats.
goats. What more could you want from the city? But what kind of jobs do we have down here? Actually, Colorado Springs is a major hub. So there's the 5 military bases here. I think everybody freaking knows that by now. So a major industry down here is the defense sector. There's Space Command is down here. So there's a lot of like satellite companies. Do I know what they do? No, because that is
No.
way above my understanding of the universe. However, I know that they're here. L3, Lockheed, which one am I
Northrop
missing?
Grumman.
Northrop, they're the other big one that's here.
Oracle.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many.
So then there's also, obviously the healthcare sector is really, really huge here. It is becoming a little bit of a tech center. I don't know if I would call it
A little bit.
the Silicon Valley of Colorado. I think would be factually incorrect.
Yeah,
But if that gets you to move here, then great.
Yeah.
We'll do it anyway.
absolutely. So the job market's super, super strong here. As of the most recent stats that we have from April, we have 0.66 jobs per applicant, I believe is what she said. Or essentially we have 2/3 of a human
Is that
per
what
job.
she said?
Tatiana Bailey,
That is what she said.
chief economist or former chief economist of UCCS, in an article with yours truly, the Gazette. Show you that later. So the job market's fantastic here. Healthcare, defense industry, tech, tourism is absolutely huge here. We have it's over 20 million visitors a year that come through the
20.
Pikes Peak region.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
And okay, so we alluded to this earlier, number 4. As you can see behind us, it's a little obscured by the storm clouds that have
It
come in
is,
at Pikes Peak.
unfortunately.
So Colorado Springs, we mentioned this earlier when we were talking about housing. Colorado Springs is actually nestled right up underneath the mountains.
That's right.
And Denver ain't. In fact, I remember the
Yeah.
first time that I ever went to Denver, I was actually pretty disappointed
Yes.
because
Gonna say the same word.
I flew into the airport and you're like on the east side of town, like way freaking
You're in
east,
Kansas.
basically.
Yeah.
And you land and then you look through your binoculars and you're like, it's way out there. The mountains are so far away. And you get into like the downtown area of Denver and you still can barely see them.
Yep.
Again, it's why I'm not really that big of a fan of big cities anyway. And I like the smaller cities because it's got a little bit better feel.
Yeah.
But in Colorado Springs,
You can't beat the views. I feel like it's a way more beautiful place to live.
yep.
Don't get me wrong, I love Denver, beautiful city, really cool city, but Colorado Springs, the views, man, the views.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
And it's not just the views. I mean, it's funny because like I feel like every MLS listing says like views of Pikes Peak
Yeah.
or views of the Front Range, and you're like, maybe.
Where?
But pretty much from anywhere in the city, you are constantly reminded that you're in the mountains, which is awesome. And it's not just the views; it's also the open space. Tons, hundreds of thousands of open space just in the city.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you're right underneath the mountains, it obviously means that access to the mountains is super easy. So through Manitou, Bar Trail, Incline, not the
Cheyenne
Grand
Falls.
Canyon, Cheyenne Canyon.
Cheyenne Canyon.
The point is that there is a bajillion options because here you're not in a concrete jungle. You're in a mountainous jungle, Doug.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, and then the 5th and final reason why Colorado Springs is infinitesimally better than Denver.
Yes.
The last one, it's kind of alludes and goes with the 4th one, I kind of mentioned it earlier, is the access to the mountains.
Yep.
Probably the worst highway in all of America is I-70.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it. It's so bad it has its own Instagram page. It's
It
called
really does.
I-70 things, and it's bananas and it's wild and
Yeah.
But basically, when you're in Denver, that's your only access to the mountains,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
But when you're here,
It's your only sensible access to the mountains.
yeah, it's your really only sensible access. What I love about Colorado Springs over Denver is actually for the outdoor enthusiast, for the adventurous, it's actually more of just a generally central location to the entire state. So yes, I can get up to Vail and maybe it takes me a little bit longer to get there than from Denver, but I can go to Wolf Creek, Pagosa, Durango, Shelf Road,
Monarch.
Salida, Buena Vista. Like, it's like all these places
Yeah.
It's so much better access from Colorado Springs because you can go south down 24,
25.
25.
You can go west on 24.
North, and you would just never go east because there's no reason to do that.
Yeah. And there's a back way to get to all your favorite ski resorts outside of Denver without ever having to go to I-70.
But make sure that you check the road conditions before you do so, because our boy Francis was telling us the last time he did that, well, not the last time, but he went all the way that way one time, and Hoosier Pass, which is right before Breckenridge, is actually closed, so that's not really a good play. Anywho, look, if you don't agree, you're wrong. That's the thing. Colorado Springs is better than Denver.
Yes.
If you want to move out here, holla at your boys. We got you. Peace out. Peace, love, and chicken grease. And thank you, Jax, again, for hosting us on this beautiful June day.